Hey, how you guys? This is another video blog. I didn't expect to have to do this one, but this is the follow-up to the dedicated to Mary Lou post on rayadvocacy.com. It's quite interesting, the new generation of people in churches. I know dedicated again to that living epistle of Bishop Leonard A. Penway. Yeah, people who disagree with him and had controversy, but you never entered the church feeling like your life or physical being is being threatened. And today I rolled out of a meeting wherein a lot of hatred was portrayed, and I felt like as if I was going to be beat down by a certain individual. And I did not expect that given the stature of the person. But I needed to clarify this whole post. Sometimes you post and you forget stuff what you've done, and not knowingly necessarily offended someone, but also part of these posts are to go ahead and have a remembrance and an expression of how you feel, how I feel as a person, and also how I feel the church has changed. And so, that dedication to Mary Lou is sort of reflective of a change in churches overall in terms of how they conduct themselves, and also a praise for persons at times, and also a rebuke at times for persons. But the dedicated to Mary Lou, the first paragraph expresses factual things, that she was a person who greeted you with unrejectable invitation of love and expressions. She went ahead and made sure that as a person, Mary Lou is, they call her Mama Lou, whatever. She is an awesome person, she's still alive. And what ends up happening is she is the epitome of a local church, which was outlined, of course, up there in the post. And what is also in there is the invitation and expression was not found in the general church, with the exception of partial expression of children in the children's ministry. What that means, is sort of highlighting what that means, is that my kids grew up at Hephzibah for pretty much, and for several years in their formative years, and they were part of the children's group there. And so what it is that you had a change when my children were attending as little babies, as 3 to 5 year olds, whatever. I mean, they followed. Hey, look, where's my good little man? Or hey, where's so and so forth. My daughter, speaking of my daughter also. So it was always an interest that was expressed, and love and compassion that was expressed by those children's ministry workers. That has changed some. Administration change, people changes or whatever, and that's just the way things are. But initially when we were out there attending that church, it was good. It was the what you call it? Even when Aaron, I remember him being in the parking lot, and one time he said, "Hey, look, we can even come pray in your home, whatever." And so you see different expressions throughout 3 years of the same type or certain people. And what's interesting is when I came out of a meeting with 3 individuals today and was told, "I hate you," it's like I didn't expect that. But also in the tone, I felt like, oh my God, I felt like I was going to be assaulted, hurt, or by an individual that was filled with so much hatred, which is interesting, again, given the stature of that person. But let me go ahead and keep on going. The third paragraph of that post says, it's been months, whatever. And what ended up happening, a person that I met with today pretty much said, hey, look, I've been going to her home several times and all this other stuff. And what ended up, the question being posed to that person was, well, if you've gone to the person's home, why haven't you provided recordings of services and so forth? Which is a basic request, a basic inquiry. It doesn't have a lot of negative connotations. It's like, hey, look, you say you've been to the home. You say you go on a regular, which is fine. This is your words. But why is it that months later this person has not one recorded sermon in her home? It's like when we were going ahead and calling it, and when I was working in the radio ministry, and we made sure we sent out tapes to people who couldn't come to church, free of charge oftentimes too. A lot of times it was free of charge. It's to people in prisons or whatever. We sent our sermons out to make sure that what do you call it, that they had the word, and it was awesome because they really appreciated it, and they didn't have the means to go ahead and be in services. So that's why one of the third and fourth paragraphs sort of addresses that issue. How I felt, it felt like a heartbreak for me. And so I'm entitled to my feelings. I'm entitled to my expressions. So how I felt, this is the heartbreak, is the way I felt about something. So it's, again, using an example, a living epistle, Bishop Lanley Penword. We had the radio ministry, and we sent out stuff on the regular, and showing examples of those expressions of love, like paragraph 5, the old days beginning. And so it's a change in churches. Churches have changed dramatically, but still, for example, there's one church where even today, I had to go ahead and push that invisible button to get out the door. But that's the way it is. And basically, the title of this blog is nice. Be Quiet. Justice League member. This is the encapsulate what happened to me today. I was told several times to be quiet by a high-ranking person, believe it or not. Be quiet. Shut up. Your opinion is not welcome here. So it's like, hold on, wait. It's like, if you are a part of a ministry or program or whatever, and you self-proclaim yourself, this is the greatest program in the whole wide world, while we are reaching so-and-so and such and such and such and such. Let those who participate in those programs evaluate you and make those decisions. So if I say to you, hey, my children haven't been participating in your program because of so-and-so, don't say, no, that's not possible. Your opinion doesn't count. Quite literally, forcefully, too. Ooh, with anger. Anger was there. Ooh, horrible anger. I felt really like I was holy hamburgers, I'm about to be pounced on. Really did. I felt that during the meeting. Your perspective and point of view, that cannot happen. It does not happen here. Whereas it was a meeting of 3, another person, which is very politely, very, I would say educatedly, I would say very professionally, pointed out the changes in their programs and how they've come along and the progress, which is awesome talking to that person. But then you had Minimo, who supports one who was so angry, so emotionally upset that looked like he was going to pounce on me. So it was interesting coming through this meeting. So that is why this living epistle follow-up on this dedication Bishop Lanley Penn stuff is being done as a vlog to attach as an attachment to the post. It's funny because, not so funny either, because I remember I was in the Bishop Atlanta Lee Penn, the late Bishop Atlanta Lee Penn, had asked me to go ahead and do a logo for the Consolidation of Churches, the group that he had formed. I forget what the name of it was. And I was doing that group, so I asked during this meeting, I said, are you a part of any movement in the area where churches are consolidated and talking to each other? Because there is no such thing as a universal member in churches. That's what this person admitted to. It's all, Southern Baptist. Our church is growing, so is Peter Popoff and Benny Hinn and all the other churches' growth. That doesn't mean that they necessarily are meeting expectations of Christ, whatever. But continuing, so I just remember having to go ahead and do the logo for this wonderful thing. Now, I remember throughout this meeting today, a part of the paragraph that was most contested was, "It's killing me," she said. She wants to go to church. The church vans are not being used to get them in. It's been over 3 years. I raised the issue with the church, with the head. I asked the place $300, and the church didn't do that. So, I mean, if after meeting and talking and asking, I go ahead and post, that post reflects the meeting, the talking, and the asking. That's not, it shouldn't be new to you, as if it's a new issue. So it was interesting coming into this meeting today and having this whole scenario be brought out as if I went ahead and never addressed the matter with you. So it's like, if I tried talking with you, and after talking with you, you go ahead, just keep on the same path as you always done, then I also have freedom of expression, which seems like they didn't want. Oh, he hated that part. Oh, freedom of you're able to talk. No, you need to be quiet. Said that forcefully too, by the way. Mary Lou, and she said they invited to help me get there. That's what Mary Lou said. Now, there's an interesting point of controversy during this whole meeting today. There was a comma there, and there is a comma there, but I am sure she knew and felt the implied they really don't want me there. Now, when you have a sentence, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs from the end, and it says, "It's killing me. The church is not the church as it should be." So it's killing me. This is what I said, okay? All right, because some people don't know how to read and write and so forth. And so this was construed as slander, and, oh my gosh, you are attacking me, the whole wide world. Holy hamburgers, you're an evil person. You're bad. No soup for you. Mary Lou said, here's the question. Here's the thing. Right after that, it says, Mary Lou said, and they invited to help me get there. Okay, that's what she said. Now, there's a comma right there. I should have said a comma there and a little quotation mark, because that is the point of controversy that led to this whole meeting today. But I am sure she felt the implied, they really don't want me there. See, that's the difference. Okay? What is that difference? It's clear in this writing, but I am sure. And she knew and felt. She knew and felt that they don't really want me here. So when you don't feel wanted, just like my kids, when they were attending certain programs in churches, etc., and they didn't feel welcome, I didn't keep them there. I listened to their feedback. I'm not exposed in the classroom to what they're being exposed to, but I listen to their feedback and move on. So I'm doing my duty, making sure they're in church, what church or program they're part of. That happens in everything. Even when my daughter comes in school and tells me the stuff that happens in school, I listen and react based on what their feedback is. But when you have an institution that says, no, our program is the greatest program in the world, and no contrary commentary is possible. Scary, dude. This is some scary shit. Like I said, I went to a meeting today with 3 persons, and 2 to 1 was vivid, and I felt like I was going to be attacked during the meeting. I felt like, hey, where's my gun? Where's my knife? Where's my pepper spray? Where's my taser? Like, dang, it's like I should have met them outside in public, because it was like scary as hell in a closed building to meet with 3 people in one. You know, it reminded me of the Clinton and Trump debate, wherein you saw Clinton acting crazy, acting like she wanted to attack Mr. Trump, President Trump now. But then you also saw a psycho Bob, President Trump, instigating. But here, I went into a meeting, there's no way I could have thought of that this was possible. I'm meeting with higher level people of better authority, of better stature, I thought. But being threatened, I felt like my physical being was being threatened. So I'm writing this, I'm posting this video log, not blogs anymore, vlogs, whatever you call them, to go ahead and add to the post so people can click on this vlog, and I will post it on Facebook as public, just because I was scared half to death today. I tell you the truth, and when people twist your words and read into something more so than what's there, and they refuse to change. I mean, whatever. It's a new generation. Like, for one last commentary on the Bishop Latterly Pen, I remember sitting in several times. I mean, with this dude, he had people talk about him all the time, but he was tranquil as hell at all times. He never jumped, flickered, or whatever. I mean, this dude was calm as heck. This is not the encounter that I had today. Oh my gosh, this dude, the younger generation can't take criticism. I mean, so epistles or letters to churches, oh my gosh, you can't rebuke, or you can't comment, or you can't express how you feel, First Amendment right, on internet, because, oh no, you have committed a sin. You're a sinner, brother. That's what I was told too, by the way. You're a sinner. Sinner. You're going to hell. Going to hell, supposedly. And I was scared because, dude, I asked one question. I said, am I welcome back in this place? I mean, can I enter the doors again? And the person who was filled with anger and rage wasn't able to answer that question. His right-hand person did, but he didn't. That is scary, because then I feel like, dang, if he couldn't even answer the question, he couldn't have said, oh, yes, brother, in love, we'll accept you regardless. No, sir. No, sir. There was no expressions like that. So, scary. I'm trying to give you feedback about a meeting that I went to today. So, and it's interesting because it's either I'm Psycho Bob, or, dude, really get a grip. You can handle criticism. I have a right to express myself. Vlogging or blogging or websites, I have a right to do these things. This is America, North America anyway. And I guess if we take the example of our president, we can tweet all we want. But not so, supposedly, this institution. If you say anything in the negative, you are bound to the depths of something that might be hell. Thank you. Sorry. Hey, I had a bit. Anyway, scary. Thank y'all. I'm sorry. If you listen to this video or not, I mean, that's fine. I just needed to add it as a link to this post. Just to clarify, like I said, people don't know how to read English at times. They read into stuff that don't exist. And yeah, so had I known coming into this meeting that, what do you call it, I would have had to take out these, I would have made a copy of that letter that I put in. It may have been similar. From my recollection, it wasn't exactly the same, but it may be similar to what was posted, but I don't remember at this point in time. And I looked back in my files to see if I had a copy of it. Didn't. But I think it was early November. I don't remember when I put that thing, but God bless. Y'all take care and be careful, because you just make sure that you do what's right regardless of what other people do and conduct in the way they conduct themselves. God bless to you.